How many people actually find their quote unquote passion? And what does that look like? What does a fulfilling career look like for someone who successfully finds their passion? And so I began my search.
Are we recording? Yes.
And we are live once again. And today I want to talk about an issue that I was facing. Guys, I was going through a dilemma at 23. So last year, when I had just graduated college, being excited, and I had all this free time on my hands to think. And I honestly was having what felt like a midlife crisis at 23. Can you believe that? So it was a quarter life crisis. And I just felt like I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And it's not that I didn't know what I was going to do, because one, studied engineering in college, so better do something with that degree I worked so hard for. And two, I had a job lined up that I was pretty excited about, kind of unsure and honestly just anxious if I was even going to be able to deliver, as any new person is when they're starting a job. And I was wondering if this was like the right choice, and what if I'm not passionate, and what if this isn't my purpose? And it's like I was just obsessing over the fact that I didn't know if this one was like the right job, the dream job for me. Crazy, right? But a lot of us have these thoughts and still have these thoughts in our 20s because of the dreams that are sold to us, where, they say, follow your passion, follow your purpose, and the money will follow. And if you don't have a job that you are completely loving every single day, then that is not your dream job, and you should not be working that, and do not stop until you find your dream job. And because of that, and because I truly believed that, I felt like I was going into something wrong. And it wasn't until I stopped to think critically and research, like the type A person that I am, about, okay, what does this really mean? How many people actually find their quote unquote passion? And what does that look like? What does a fulfilling career look like for someone who successfully finds their passion? And so I began my search. And I'm happy to say that I found a few things that I'm excited to share, and it might not be in the way that you think it is. So the first thing that I found was that what we in our current Western culture believe passion and purpose to be with regards to our career, it is just that in regards to our career. So I feel like we're the only people who think about passion and purpose in terms of like your career only, and you look at your career as if it's supposed to be the answer to your everyday, like your happiness, when that's not the case. So there's that. Secondly, a career itself isn't what gives you joy. It's what those things that the career affords you to do is what gives you joy. And this is perfectly stated in Cal Newport's book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, where he breaks down this fallacy of finding your passion, where he talks about three things that a dream and a career and a dream job allows you to do. And it's autonomy, where you can control the type of work you do, and you're able to have just control over how you're contributing to the greater purpose of like a company and a role. Two, mastery, where it's you see yourself getting better and better at something because people like things that they're good at. So you're more prone to like things that you eventually master. And he made a great point in the book where he went through a study of college administrators, and he interviewed, or the study interviewed, persons who were early on in their career versus persons who were a bit mid-level or more senior roles in their career. And they asked them the question about their purpose and if they thought their job and their career was more of a purpose. And they found that most of the people who were early in career said that, oh, their job was just a job. It was just like a career, nothing really special. But the older people got, the more their answers shifted to being that of a purpose and looking at their career as a calling and as a purpose rather than just a job. And isn't it crazy that, these persons were older, which means that they would have had a longer time in their career, their specific roles. So they would have had more time to learn about the role and more time to master their craft. They were good at it, which would make sense why they loved or considered their jobs as more of a calling than just like a regular job. So I thought that was very interesting. But the thing that got me the most was his last point about purpose, where he said that, purpose is great, but people liked careers where they were able to contribute to like a greater cause, greater than themselves. But they were only able to do so once they had skills. So you want to change the world, yes. But how are you going to change the world when you don't have anything to add to the world? How's that going to happen, sis? So like as Gen Zs, I see us as so socially impact driven. We have a lot of energy. We want to solve these big problems because they are pressing, but we want to do them now. And we can't do them now because we don't have the capacity and the skills to solve the world's biggest challenges. And quite frankly, some of us don't really want to invest the time. So I think a lot of the dilemma comes from that. So understanding those 3 key things helped me to step back, and it made me feel relief. I felt like I could breathe because I knew now that 1, my fulfillment in a career wasn't really tied to a specific job. It was tied to something more than that. It's whatever I want it to be. And I could choose whatever career path and whatever discipline I wanted to pursue as long as it afforded me those 3 things. Autonomy, control, where I could work on things that I wanted to and contribute in a way that I thought was meaningful. 2, mastery, so I could work on things that actually made sense and were actually meaningful, and I could see myself getting better at and progressing and developing mastery at. And number 3, I can make a difference and I can have purposeful impact in different disciplines, and it's not tied to like one specific thing. And now the next question is just for me to decide, okay, where do I want to have my impact in? And kind of work back to see, okay, if I want to have this kind of impact, these are the skills that I need to build. If you haven't read Cal Newport's book, So Good, They Can't Ignore You, I am urging you to check it out. There are a lot of gems in there. And if you are a Gen Zer like myself who is having or had a quarter life crisis, or you're just looking for a good read, it's definitely a great one to check out. So that brings me to my last point now, which is, okay, we've gotten the whole purpose conversation wrong with regards to our career. If that's not what purpose is, so then what is purpose? So I kind of disregarded the whole word purpose and passion, and I did this instead. And what I did was find my values. So I focused on finding the things that I naturally gravitated to and what means the most to me in every area of my life, regardless of if it was career, family life, relationships, health, literally anything. Because I found that when I zoned in on what I looked for in these things, these areas of my life, then I kind of tapped into who I was, because you don't only exist as like one dimensional. So you're not just only you at work or you at the gym or you in a relationship. You're you all the time. So in order for you to feel fulfilled, you want to be bringing that to all these different areas of your life. So focused on finding my values, getting clear on that. And I realized that I really like making an impact. I like innovating and being creative and thinking of new ways to do things. And I like taking action. Like I like doing what I say I'm going to do and being somebody of integrity and of like my word. So if I say I'm going to do something, best believe I will. And that's something that I can take to any area of my life. And that's something I do want to take to any area of my life. So when I do go into my career now, when I have my control, I'm mastering things, I'm having purpose, I make sure those 3 different values are how I show up at work. So that will help me have like a fulfilling career, a fulfilling role, a fulfilling experience overall. Because I'm bringing my entire self. My values, it's something that is within me, that's always been there, it's going to be there, and I just took the time to listen to it. Whereas purpose is painted as, oh, it's something out there that you have to go discover. So taking that approach to career and life and navigating life as a young adult, as somebody who is Gen Z, has been very relieving and rewarding. So if you want me to talk more about it, I'd be happy to make another video and show you how I was able to come up with my values and my personal mission statement. But until then, let me know if this makes sense and if this resonated, and if you'd love to hear more about the book. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.